Hi, I'm Tyden Lafournaise. I'm a 2027 NHL draft prospect, and I am on I Only Touch Greatness podcast.
You're tuning into I Only Touch Greatness podcast, Vancouver's best show with Ryan Hayes.
This is Vancouver's number one.
Check it.
NHL Prospect Interviews Show. I Only Touch Greatness with Ryan Hayes. Often imitated but never duplicated, I Only Touch Greatness podcast with Ryan Hayes.
Hey man, it's Big X the Plug. I'm the Big, and this is the largest. I Only Touch Greatness. Safe to say I'm the biggest.
Born in Winnipeg is the stat that I found. What was childhood like for you growing up, and when did you start playing hockey?
I started skating when I was about 2 or 3. Just kind of, some private one-on-one sessions. Just, no puck, no stick, just kind of working on your feet, this, that. And then when I was turned about 4 or 5, I started playing hockey. Started with playing with guys a lot older than me, a lot of bigger guys, but, I was always the youngest guy, but, it was always good, lots of fun, and, just kind of playing, growing up, just really enjoyed the ODRs and that with the boys, and I felt like, during the winter, that's kind of what I always looked forward to, and got a lot out of those, even if you're just kind of messing around and playing stick and puck.
Yeah, did you play any other sports growing up?
Not really, no. I tried out baseball for a bit, but I was young and it was kind of just that t-ball stuff, and I found that boring. I needed a little more to do, and then I've just been playing golf a lot since I've been young, so that's been good.
Yeah, I read you're one of those big farm bodies, big bodied guy that plays pretty big.
Yeah.
There's all those outdoor games playing in the cold in Winnipeg.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Who do you model your game after?
Yeah, I try and model my game after a couple guys. I mean, I like the way a guy like Nathan McKinnon uses his speed and his body and, creates a lot of offense. And then I also like the way a guy used to play like Patrice Bergeron, the way he kind of played the defensive game and, with more of a two-way center in that type of way too.
What's one challenge you've come across in getting to where you are today?
I think a lot of kind of my career has been, just through adversity. Just being young, I wasn't always one of those top guys, so just getting cut from a lot of teams young, it hurt, it stung, but just kind of using that as fuel to push myself in the off season and really make it to where I am now. That's kind of where I've come from.
Yeah, that builds character.
Yeah, it does.
All those things. Do you have a favorite sports hero?
Not really. I've kind of always liked, a guy like Brock Purdy, comes from that same type of background, with the adversity and stuff. And then I've always kind of liked watching Tiger Woods when he was golfing in his prime there. So, that was always fun to watch with my dad and stuff.
So are you a 49ers fan?
Not really. No, I wouldn't say I'm too big on any team. I'm more of just like kind of a fantasy football guy. So that kind of it ruins a little bit of your team spirit because you're just cheering on players. But when it comes football season, I like to spend my Sundays watching that.
I hear you. I do a lot of fantasy football as well.
Yeah.
So I found two different stats on this one. It was 8th or 13th overall in the 2024 WHL draft. Where were you when you got drafted?
Yeah. So it was the 13th overall pick, and I was actually in the car on my way to Brandon, where at the time we had our Pursuit of Excellence Top 40 tryouts for Team Manitoba. So I was in the car, pretty much just pulled up to the hotel, and then I got the call literally as we were pulling into the parking lot. So that was pretty cool, and yeah, great experience.
You managed to get into 5 games last season. How does a rookie lap feel?
Yeah, it's unreal. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect. I got one when I got called up to play with the U18 team in my second year bantam, but there wasn't much of a crowd. And then when I got called up there for my first game in Lethbridge, it was a sold out crowd, and even for warm ups, there's a lot of people. So it was pretty nerve wracking. I just kept telling myself, "Don't fall, don't trip on a puck," but I didn't, and I had a really good one, and it was good.
How do you calm those nerves then before the game?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, I just kind of just took it easy. Warm ups, this, that. Just kind of tried soaking it all in. Kind of told myself that yeah, it's real now, and just deep breaths on the bench, and then you get that first shift, and it's just now you're playing hockey, or just play your game.
What did you learn in those 5 games?
Yeah, I learned a lot. Kind of just learned how much bigger and faster and stronger those older guys are, and just kind of learned how to play the game and how to keep up with them.
Okay. What did the coaches send you away with to work on this off season?
Yeah, they were sent me away with a couple things. Couple of those things were just to get faster off the ice, so working on your sprints and your explosiveness, and then that would lead to on ice stuff, and then just kind of play a little more physical, which leads to just getting stronger in the gym. Bumping bodies, trying working on that in the summer, and just compete when you're playing like battle drills and stuff. Never want to lose a battle, and when you do, be hard on yourself and just compete.
So how's that off season training going?
Really good, yeah. Right now I'm skating 4 or 5 times a week and working out 4 or 5 times a week. So it's busy, but I enjoy it. It's good, and I still have time to play those other sports like golf and that.
And I know the 2027 draft's a long ways away, but
Yeah.
what would you bring to my Vancouver Canucks?
Yeah, I think I'd bring just a character, a kid who's pretty mature for his age, and then on the ice, someone who just wants to work, someone who is always looking to get better, and just a guy that loves to drive offense and put the puck in the net, but also help his teammates out and help them put the puck in the net.
So obviously Miguel Marquez, Kai Anderson, I told you we got coming up soon. Luke Cousins, Gavin Lestick, Braden Yeager, like Will Scott. I managed to somehow do a lot of Lethbridge Hurricane interviews over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
What's a guy like Marquez? One of my favorite interviews. Great kid to meet in person. Is he like rubbed off on you at all in those 5 games?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I got to spend a lot of time with him, obviously being up in camp, and then when I got called up for those times and at Christmas. So just being around a guy like that, he just showcases so much of that pro level in him, and just watching him in practice and in skill skates, some of the stuff he does is incredible, and you kind of just trying to implement that in your own game.
Yeah, he's a beauty on and off the ice. That guy, one of my favorite interviews. How do you unwind after a game?
Pardon?
How do you unwind after a game?
Yeah, I'm big on just a quick little cool down. So I'll just do a little stretch, maybe go for a little bike, and then you know I know in Lethbridge they got the hot tub and cool tubs, so I like to sit in those. Or if my billets have a hot tub, I'll go sit in that for an hour or so and just kind of rethink the game, listen to some music, just try and calm your body and your mind down, and then hit the bed, and tomorrow's a new day.
Do you have pregame rituals?
Yeah, I'm pretty superstitious, I'd say. I like to, just do the classic tape your stick, this, that. But, if there's something that worked the night before, I'll try and do it again. If it's wearing the same suit or eating the same meal or just waking up from the pregame nap at the same time, just kind of little things like that. I like to just do them over and over if they're working until they stop working.
Yeah, that's good. You don't want to have too many rituals where they'll throw off your game if one of them gets missed or something. Like you're all of a sudden you don't get to hit that special Tim Hortons every game or something, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Your favorite jersey number and why?
Yeah, I'd say probably 17. Just because I'm born on March 17th, so it just kind of has a little thing there. But also, if I had to now, I'd say maybe probably number 11 because that was my dad's favorite number, and he just recently passed away. So if I ever got to choose, I'd think I'd choose number 11 now.
Oh, my condolences on that one.
Yeah, no, thank you.
If it wasn't for hockey, what would you be doing?
Yeah, I think for school wise, I like take schooling pretty seriously. So I've always kind of, if hockey didn't work out, I always want to kind of pursue that business and law side of things, being a lawyer or being a business owner. But also, it kind of sounds a little silly, but I love fishing. So I've always kind of growing up, always wanted to be a fishing guide. So maybe that's going to be my retiring job after hockey.
Okay. Do you have a personal highlight, like a favorite goal, hit, moment?
I have a couple favorite goals. I've had a couple nice overtime winners. Obviously, getting drafted was a pretty surreal feeling in that. But I'd say probably scoring an overtime winner against the other Bruins team in second year Bantam. That one felt good.
You got that highlight?
Pardon?
You have that highlight?
Yeah, I have it. I got it flipped there on
Perfect.
Wide Barn. Yeah,
We'll add that to the beginning.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, a couple of draft questions for you. If you were
Yeah.
having a dream dinner party, and you can invite 3 famous people, dead or alive, who are you bringing to your party?
Whew. All right. I'd say one, I got to go with Wayne Gretzky. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. 2, I'd say probably Tiger Woods. Just, his little career in that'd be a pretty cool little 2. And then top things off, maybe a guy like Messi or Ronaldo, just one of those guys that have had a pretty successful career for themselves. I think that would be 3 guys to be an amazing chat and have dinner with.
Yeah, 3 goats too.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, I always go with like Tupac. Seth Rogen would be like a comedian to see, and then for a little eye candy, I go with like Shakira. Yeah.
Yeah. Seth Rogen would be cool because he'd make you laugh and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'd always love to do. And Superbad's my favorite movie. So,
Oh yeah.
if you were an animal, what animal would you be?
I like to think like on the ice and off the ice, or just off the ice kind of thing.
And more in life, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah, I like to, kind of think of myself a little bit as a bald eagle. Pretty smart, fly around. I have pretty good awareness of everything around me and stuff, and kind of notice when things are off. So I think a bald eagle is a good little representation.
I always go with a dolphin because I look like a dolphin.
They're smart as
Yeah,
crap.
they're smart, great animals until you get cornered and have to defend yourself, and then you become
Yeah.
a bit of a mean guy.
Yeah.
What do you look for in a good coach?
Yeah, obviously a coach that, you got to earn their trust, but a coach that trusts you, a coach that gives you opportunity. And then also, I always love a coach that's hard on me. Like, when you make a bad play or you make a mistake, they'll let you know. But then when you make a good play or you do something positive, they're there to fuel you. So I think those things are, kind of what make a great coach.
Hey, next one is what do you look for in a good captain?
Yeah, obviously someone that's, always there for his teammates, if they have to talk to him about problems, at the rink or at home, they're always kind of there. And then just a guy that, just kind of just controls the dressing room. Like, he's on top of things. He sorry, I'm getting another call here.
That's all good.
There we
Yeah.
go. So yeah, just a guy that, controls the dressing room. He's like kind of like the coaching thing. He pushes you. He's on top of you. Whether it's team workouts or practices. He's always kind of pushing the guys and stuff. I think that's really big. But yeah, at the end of the day, just a good human, good character.
Do you have a dream venue that you like to play in one day?
I think my dream venue, obviously being a French kid, I'd love to play in Montreal. Feel like a playoff game in Montreal would be unreal, or being from Winnipeg playing in the whiteout would be pretty surreal as well.
Yeah, that would be pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite barn that you've played in so far?
Um, Not really, no. I haven't obviously played in a couple of the big Western League barns, but I think for me, just kind of just my hometown rink. Just it's always good to be back. Obviously you go play away for the season, then you come back to train, and it's like, wow, I miss this place.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
Yeah,
What's one aspect of your game you're trying to improve?
yeah. Like I said, I got two there. Kind of just that physicality part. Just bumping bodies, getting in the way of bodies. Creating time and space for me and my teammates, and then also just that compete. I think it's something that's so big in today's game, and you can never be too good at it. Is just winning your puck battles, and always having the puck on your stick, because that's when I think I'm the most dangerous.
Do you have a favorite sports franchise outside? It doesn't have to be hockey.
Um, Favorite sports franchise? Not really, no. Um, in hockey, I'd say probably just the Jets. Just being a hometown kid. But no, in other sports, I don't think I really got one that really pops out to me.
Are you an earbuds kind of guy, or do you listen to the team speaker pregame?
Team speaker. Yeah, team speaker. But when I'm doing like my own off ice warm up and stuff, I'll have my beats on and stuff. So yeah.
Okay, you got to go to Selly.
Not really, no. Just kind of whatever pops out to me in the moment. Sometimes they're a little goofy, sometimes they're better, but just whatever kind of comes to me in the moment. I get pretty excited when I score goals, so it's just whatever comes up to me.
Yeah, I get excited when I score goals playing beer hockey too. It's like I'm out there doing the John Cena. You can't see me when I score. So
Yeah.
the other team don't like that very much. What about sports movie?
I got to go with the classic, the original Happy Gilmore. I think that's just classic. I mean, funny, kind of get sports, got golf, got hockey. I think it's the perfect movie.
It's a great movie. Have you seen the second one?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. What do you think?
I thought it was really good. Yeah, I kind of liked how they, kind of put their own little twist on the PGA versus Live, and it's so cool to see just those pros in the movie and stuff. It was awesome.
Yeah, I like that. What are your goals for next season?
Yeah, obviously my biggest goal is to make Lethbridge as a 16-year-old. I mean, it'll be tough, but if I earn it, I think I should be there, and then just to just earn the coach's trust and earn my ice time and just kind of be one of those go-to guys that the coach looks at.
Do you have any hidden talents?
Not really. I'm a pretty good bake and cook, so that's a little bit of a hidden talent, I guess.
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah.
Outside of hockey, what are some of your hobbies?
Yeah, like I mentioned, golf. Love to fish. Just hanging out with friends, hanging out with family. Those are big things, and then also just kind of having my downtime. Obviously the summer's super busy when you're skating and working out every day. So just to chillax in bed. I always enjoy that as well.
Do you collect anything?
No, not really. I used to collect hockey cards, and my dad had a huge little man cave downstairs, so I got all his sports memorabilia now. So I guess I still collect that.
Yeah. Okay. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
I think probably flying. I think flying would be unreal. Don't have to pay for plane tickets or this and that. You just kind of fly everywhere, beat traffic.
That's for sure. I'd like to read women's minds so you could know what they were thinking.
Yeah, that'd be a game changer.
Yeah, it'd save a lot of headaches.
Yeah, it would.
All right. How important is the stuff you post on social media?
Super important. I mean, that's kind of social media is the new, it's the new life nowadays. So, you got to always make sure you watch what you post and, make sure, you kind of double check it before you post it to make sure it's good and appropriate.
Yeah, I hear you. One of the kids we had on is a football stud, like superstar. He's going to be a superstar. He told us he doesn't post anything he wouldn't let his grandma see.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
So, yeah, I always try to tell the guys as they're coming up just to be careful on what you post and stuff because you never know 10, 15 years down the road that could always come back to haunt you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that wraps up all my questions for you. So we zoomed right through that one. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you for having me.